It's me again, but it's my channel, so I don't know why it would be somebody else. Quick update on the rifle that I got from BlackWater. It is the BW15. It's an AR-15 like everybody makes, except it's not. For the most part, this gun is out of the box. Those are groups I shot with this gun, unsupported, standing at about 15 yards. There's 20 rounds there. It's not a full mag. It is still a very young gun. It's got about 1,600 rounds through it now at this point. Again, that's pretty new. However, it's 1,600 rounds without issue. I did have an issue with one round. It was an old magazine that I had of remanufactured ammo that I had gotten from a buddy, and the ammo just blatantly sucked. But I had grabbed that mag by accident. But I would be, amiss if I didn't at least acknowledge that one malfunction and then blame the ammo for it, not the gun. Again, it's a pretty young rifle for me. It's got 1,600 rounds through it. It is the newest rifle that I have. Most of my guns have copious amounts of ammo through them because I've been shooting the same guns for like 10 years. It is out of the box. The only thing I really did to it was I swapped out the muzzle brake so I could put the Witt Machine Mod-1 on there. I love that can. Full disclosure, I helped design it, so of course I'm gonna love it. I have an Enforce light on there. I do have Magpul Pro backups on there that I put on there. The optic that came with it is the optic that they provide. Originally I wanted a low power variable something scope. I run that, or at least a low mag scope, on almost everything I run. But I like the reticle that's in this thing. I like a red dot, and to be completely honest, I hadn't shot a blatant red dot in so long. I actually forgot how fast they were and how accommodating they are out at distance. I have not shot this gun beyond 200 yards yet, so I don't want to pretend I've done like great distances with it, because that would be a lie and a disservice. So, whatever. That being said, I will be shooting it out to 500 yards this weekend at the Waco Tactical Fitness competition in Waco or Tonkawanka, or I don't know, it's a Texas name, so it never makes sense. But I will leave that red dot on there for that. The gun does come through. The gun does come through with an ambidextrous charging handle, which, if you saw the last video, I'm not generally a fan of those. However, this one is small enough where I see it as an advantage and not a hamper. Because I run the gun suppressed 99% of the time, I did swap to a slightly heavier buffer than what came with it stock. It ran perfectly suppressed with the stock buffer, so I don't want to take anything away from that. The heavier buffer I put in here is just a preference for me. But out of the box, this gun ran great. Going back to the red dot for just a minute, again, this is a red dot that they provided. It's been a while since I ran just a basic red dot on a carbine. And this one is different to me because every other auto adjust red dot that I've had some kind of sensor on top that adjusted to the ambient light that was based on the location I was in. With this, the actual sensor is on the front. And at first I was like, why would the sensor be there? Moving with this in low light, I recognize that the sensor's in the front for a brilliant friggin' reason. It auto adjusts the reticle based on what I'm looking at, not where I'm standing. So if I'm inside of a dark room and I'm looking out into a lit hallway or a lit structure or a light colored background, it automatically brings the brightness of the reticle up so I can see it against that bright background. That's a pretty unique thing for me. As far as I know, there's not a lot of reticles that do that. He'll stay now. There isn't a lot of reticles that do that. This is the first one that I've encountered that did that, and I noticed it right off the bat. It was an answer to a question I wasn't even going to ask because I didn't know I needed to. Brilliant fucking answer for it. Outside of that, I haven't wanted to adjust anything. The optic is right where it was out of the box. The trigger is the mil-spec trigger that comes with it right out of the box. And again, in the beginning of this video, I said it's an AR like a lot of other ARs, but it's not. And the trigger is another difference that I've found with this rifle versus other rifles. All of the ARs that I own, except one, has a stock mil-spec trigger in it. The first thing I generally do when I get a mil-spec gun and a mil-spec trigger is I pull it out, polish the bejeebus out of it, put it back in the gun, because I've done what we all do is I run the bolt to the rear, checked it, made sure it's safe, dropped the bolt, brought the gun up, started to pull the trigger, and found a metric fuck ton of creep or drag or like those bumpy things they put in the road so semis don't like drive through a red light in the middle of a highway, which whoever put red lights in the middle of a highway, I hate your face and your whole gene pool. But the trigger out of the box on a lot of them is garbage. So I pull them out, I get some oil and some 800 and 1000 grit or 1200 grit sandpaper, and I polish it till it's clean and I'm happy. Then I put that trigger back in there and I'm usually content with the gun. I didn't do that with this gun. I pulled it out of the box and it was a nice, smooth snap. There was a little bit, like there was take up in there. I could feel the sear engagement disengaging and then snapping, but it was clean and it was smooth right out of the box. And for me not to pull it out and play the oil and sanding games, really unusual. It's another thing that I really love about this rifle. Accuracy out of this thing, that's 15 yards. There's 25 rounds there. Yeah, I threw one, but that was me, and I can't argue. At 15 yards, for me, this target tells me that this gun is a better shooter than I am. So I have to up my game to be cool enough for the rifle. Not the worst thing that's ever happened. So, aside from that, I really haven't wanted to add anything to this gun. It's the first time I haven't really added some kind of vertical forend or hand stop on a gun. And again, this is the one 16-inch gun that I own, and it's the first 16-inch gun I've owned in like over a decade. So now all of a sudden I have lots and lots of room to put my hand and run up and down this thing, you know, like choking up on it when I'm in close and stretching out when I need to take a longer shot. I've got enough real estate where I don't feel I need that stick. And I like it. I'm not gonna lie, I really like this gun. So, yeah, the guys over at BlackWater sent me this thing. I bought it, and I'm really fucking happy with it. So kudos to those guys. I'm gonna go beat on this thing some more, and I'll give you an update when I'm at 5,000 rounds. Yeah, actually, I'll probably give you guys an update after the Waco competition this weekend, and then I'll give you guys an update on it at 5,000 rounds, which will probably happen in the next 2.5, maybe 3 weeks. So if you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments. If you haven't liked and subscribed already, do that. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's RW Higgins. Do that, and I'll see you on the range. Time to cosplay as a person that has their shit together.